Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308, and we are here with the associate producer, Khatt, and the peanut gallery in the background occasionally. And we are going to be listening to some Wait, Don't Tell Me dispatches from the DNC this week.
This should be entertaining.
It should be. It should be. Let's start out today with our shout-outs, ad reads, whatever we call them. Not quite sure. First off, we don't have anything to review today from Firehouse Organics, but we're still shouting them out as a friend of the channel. Firehouse Organics Craft Cannabis Farm. They have some really, really premier stuff. They're very good friends of the channel. They're really cool people, and they have some really, really premier class weed concentrates, hash, edibles. I mean, the full spectrum of what you would want. But also, today's pre-rolls are provided by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, 105 West Main Street, Suite 200, above the bricks between 10,000 Villages and Hamiltons, where the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. And they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal and highly biased research. And we will be smoking some of their blacktop pre-rolls. One of the best deals for the money in town. Quite an impressive pre-roll, you know. And I was talking to one of the owners, and he said, you know, he personally supervises their creation, and he wants to make sure that these are, you know, that these are high quality pre-rolls for an excellent price. Because he's going to be smoking them. Mm-hmm. You know, he smokes his own pre-rolls, so he wants to make sure that they are good enough for him. And, you know, he's a connoisseur. But also, he wanted to make sure that the price point was low enough that anybody in the community can afford them. Mm. Yeah, he wanted to make sure that they're like top quality, low price. And in about the same breath, he said, you know, what his real goal wasn't just to set up a dispensary and, you know, to sell some bud or whatever. No, he wanted to make a community. He wanted to create a safe third space for everybody to go, to smoke, to enjoy company, and to feel safe. And that's really, I feel like, what the mission of the Hidden Leaf really is. It's a community building space. And that is why I endorse them with my full chest. I say it with my full chest. We endorse the Hidden Leaf. That being said, they do not necessarily endorse us or any of our opinions. We are an opinionated channel. We have especially political opinions. We have political opinions. So, we don't, our political opinions and our social opinions don't necessarily reflect any opinions held by any employees of the Hidden Leaf or Firehouse Organics. And because they are both companies, they're both corporations, so to speak, even though they're both highly community-minded, they can't really have those kinds of opinions. And we here respect that.
This is true.
Smooth, tasty, and it hits every time. So, I would just like to say thank you to Hidden Leaf and Firehouse Organics for doing what they're for community building, for being out there and building community. And now I would like to say a special hello to Just Me Crystal in the chat, who is lurking and has her own stream going on where she's playing some Jackbox games. And we're lurking over there. And if you're not following Just Me Crystal, you really should. Wonderful human being, just out trying to spread love. And I support that. Well, all right, Khatt. That's our ad reads and stuff.
Yes.
So,
yes, it is.
Have you been looking forward to these DNC dispatches?
Yeah, I have definitely been on the curious side of, what are they, what did they do, what have they been doing?
You mean at the DNC or at
the crew that did the dispatches?
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious to see who it is. Because well, I could see them sending Pete out there. I could see Pete being out there.
I could see them sending a whole bunch of different people out there, depending on who was in charge that day.
Well, also who's around. Because I'm not sure how many of them, the comics, hang out in Chicago all the time.
Probably not a lot.
Right. Although Chicago has a thriving comedy scene, I think. So
there's that.
Yes. All right. Well,
let us see how this goes.
As the cabbage said when it walked into the eye doctors, let us see. Oh.
This message comes
Can you
from
hear
Mattress
that?
Firm. How do you sleep at night? Say goodbye to aches and pains. Upgrade your sleep with Mattress Firm's premium selection of mattresses. Get
How
matched
do I
at Mattress
sleep at
Firm's
night?
best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale, and sleep at night.
Not a question either one of us should answer.
Well, this very official sounding music means Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Illinois. For some reason, They gave us press credentials. I'm Ian Chillag. I'm a producer on the show.
Hi, I'm Emma Choi. I'm also a producer on the show.
And I am Peter Sagal, who is usually not trusted to produce anything.
Emma and I are from out of town. We all arrived here barely in time for the day one gavel drop. There were a number of travel snafus. I'm going to bring up some tape here. This is Emma talking to the person next to her on her flight from Boston.
What's going on?
Well, we're on the plane, and we've already had a few delays when we were leaving Boston, but now we were just told that we cannot land because there are politicians coming into the city for the DNC. So we're just circling around Lake Michigan, it looks like. But yeah, he said basically that we can't do anything about it, and we're stuck up here.
Emma, can you tell us how did you on the plane become aware of the situation that's why you were circling?
The pilot came on to the intercom thing, and I was expecting to be like, we're landing now in Chicago. But he said, so the DNC is this week, folks, and just want to let you know that we're holding because there's some politicians' planes in the area who are corrupting the airspace. So we'll be holding for about 20, 30 minutes. And the whole plane went, oh, boy.
Is that the technical term for it? Corrupting the airspace?
I will never forget that phrase. That's what he said, and I've never heard that phrase before.
I'm going to look up here.
Corrupting the airspace.
I want the next time we
maybe
go through turbulence, I want the pilot to say, sorry, we had some corrupt airspace.
All right, so I'm Googling if this is an air traffic control term. It's not.
Okay.
Okay, damn
You
it.
just got jiggy with it. It just went crazy. That's so funny.
So we've made it here. We're so excited to go over to the United Center, and we get to the line.
That was amazing. It was the longest line I think I've ever been in.
Checking my timer.
It's a really long line.
It's a very long line. And it's one of those long lines where we can
13 minutes, 55 seconds so far.
13 minutes and 55 seconds.
Wow. But it's important to note that as long as the line is, people behind us will be waiting even longer.
Yeah.
We haven't made a lot of progress. How long have we been in this line?
26 minutes.
26 minutes, 10 seconds. We have moved,
Yes.
and we can see up ahead where the line... What if we get to the end of the line and it's just the back of the line?
Yeah.
One short story?
That can't be it.
Yes.
2 minutes.
Okay, 32 minutes. So the first straightaway took us 32 minutes.
It's a paper time.
It's become a thing, by the way. Many reporters from the convention started by talking about the line, the daily. It was a crazy line because we didn't know where it ended.
I mean, so we heard some people were saying that the line was long because there was a protest blocking one of the other entrances, so everybody was sent to one place, and that was the problem. It just seemed kind of disorganized.
Yes.
They were kind of rushed for this DNC. You know, they changed out the candidate a month ago. I read that the platform, the Democratic Party platform, which they released on
The DNC
Sunday night,
was
it mentioned a second term
disorganized.
for President Biden.
I'm
19
not
times.
surprised.
Oh.
They could
Find and replace.
Really?
It's not that
I mean,
hard.
So
Gosh,
easy.
That's proofreading, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
Is so important, especially in contemporary American
Yeah.
politics.
It also predicted Australia would dominate the women's breakdancing competition
And
at the
that's
Olympics.
I understand. It's just looking at the odds going in. You know, I mean, she was a professor of breakdancing. It turns out this is that the other story coming out of the big night, the first night, is how long it went. It went so long. It turns out I had this strangely relevant conversation earlier in the day. There's a guy named Jeff Nussbaum. Jeff is a long-term political speechwriter who had worked for Democratic politicians for every convention from 2000 through the last one, which of course was a virtual convention. I asked him about preparing the speakers, and I found out, and this isn't a surprise when you think about it, the VIPs, the big names, like Hillary Clinton or President Biden on the first night, they get to do whatever they want. It's the mid-level politicians. And the biggest problem with them is keeping them to time. And he told me about like how much of a struggle that is.
That's where you
I mean,
run
that's
into
not
folks who will
surprising.
say, this isn't me, I'm not doing this, or I can't do this. And then you find yourself in a position where you beg,
Right.
and then you plead, and then you escalate, and then you bribe, and then you threaten. And the bribe is, you can have one more minute. And the threat is, okay, do what you want. You're going to do it at 5 p.m. instead of 10 p.m.
Oh.
So
I would never have imagined that there was like negotiation down to the last minute
Yeah,
like that.
and apparently some people resist. He told me this story about how, I think it was in 2006 when he was working in that convention, Al Sharpton went through the whole process, and then he gets up on live TV at the convention, and he pulls out a completely different speech
Yeah, that sounds
from
about
his
right.
pocket.
Yeah, that sounds
Just,
like Al
totally
Sharpton.
cool. Like, now I'm here, you can't stop me. And I noticed last night Sean Fain was reading from a piece of paper.
I did too.
He
Yeah,
do the
no
same
cards.
thing?
Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
it was. I read that as just like, man of the people. I'm not using a teleprompter. I'm using my note cards.
Yeah, but we can see the teleprompter too, and he was following. I mean, he said everything on the teleprompter.
I was really, and Emma, you were probably annoyed by me because when we were watching Hillary Clinton's
The
speech,
peanut gallery just
where we were
texted
sitting,
with
like you
me
said, we could
with
see the teleprompter.
what? Are you saying
And
the
you
politicians
could
like
see
to
the
talk a
little
lot?
edits
Well, I
Hillary Clinton was
never
making
would have
in the
guessed.
speech.
Yeah.
And they were tiny things. Like, so there had been this thing a few minutes before where we heard about Kamala Harris's mother, and someone had said, I wish she was here to see what's happening. And in Hillary Clinton's speech, which was, we could see on the teleprompter, there was a line that she had written earlier, or her speechwriter had written earlier, about wishing her mother could see her now. You could see that line, and she changed it to, I wish my mother could see me now, and I wish Kamala Harris's mother could see me now. I'm paraphrasing. But like she sort of like, okay, I have a little callback that just happened 5 minutes ago. And me as somebody who writes things that you, Peter, read sometimes
yes.
and
No,
writes
most
my
of the
own
time.
things, it was really, I really loved seeing those little edits. And I was elbowing Emma every time. Did you see? She said they instead of them. And I was like so excited about it.
But that's
What
that's the
the-
thing I learned the most last evening too, is the difference between a politician and a really great speaker. Because there's some people like AOC, Hillary, like electrified the crowd, and like it was like how many people were in that room? Like tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And then my favorite woman of the night was a book report lady with the huge. First of all, to bind a copy of anything is to glorify it a little bit. She didn't have to bind it that nicely.
This was a giant bound copy of
Yeah.
Project 2025.
It's the kind of book that Gandalf would open and blew dust
Absolutely.
off to find the lore of the ring.
My other favorite part of the night was, I think, more fun than the candidates and the people on stage were the people at the convention. They were so freaking weird and awesome and specific. Like, we met...
Okay, so I'm just the book of the Project 2025. It just feels like something that would be in one of Sam Raimi's early movies. You know?
Fuck you, Barata, fuck you.
Khatt Baratu. You said it right, didn't you?
He did.
Yeah. I said
He did.
it.
He said it absolutely correctly.
I'm just picturing the bound copy of Project 2025, like, or worse, it's the Darkhold from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's that awful cursed book from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, why? Why would you bind this much negative energy in one place? It's sort of like asking to summon a demon.
I mean, you were not asked for your opinion, Fuzzy.
So, we used to do this. This brings up a semi non sequitur.
Uh-huh.
We used to do impressions of our DM, our current DM. We in the old D&D group used to do impressions of him, because this actually happened one night. He goes, Brandon, stop summoning demons in the living room, Brandon.
Not really.
Yes. I mean, it sounds like you can almost hear him in that. Like, it's been a long time, and his voice has gotten a lot more aggravated over the years.
Well, I mean, people keep summoning demons in the living room. This makes sense.
Right? Damn it, Brandon. Stop summoning demons in the living room. Just like... So, I mean, if you think any of your game groups, Peanut Gallery, if you think any of your game groups have been bad to him since then, not really. Not really. That group was awful. I truly felt bad for our DM through most of those games because that group was really awful and was exactly why he has the chip on his shoulder now. All right. Background lore done.
Cool people.
Ian, I mean, for example, we were just walking through the hallway, finding our way in, and Ian, you found this guy who was quite dressed up.
Hey, what's your name?
Hey, my name's Angelo.
And where are you from, Angelo?
I'm one of the delegates from Northern Mariana Islands.
Okay, and can you tell me about this outfit?
I'm dressed like Where's Waldo because every conference should have a Waldo in the audience, am I right? Basically, we're at DemCon, right?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's like I go to conference, I'm sitting in
DemCon.
big conference rooms, it's
Yeah.
like celebrities are walking around, I'm, taking selfies with people.
That is what it is.
It's like a comic book conference, but for politics.
He was from the Northern Mariana Islands.
Yes.
And
DemCon.
the newest
yeah.
U.S. territory.
yeah.
But, like, he flew such a long time to be here. That's crazy. And he had more costumes planned for the rest of the week.
Yeah. He said this was like the least exciting of his outfit.
We should try to find him every night. And
Yeah,
where are the Northern
awesome.
Mariana Islands on the floor? We have
He
to
said he had a
sort
coconut tree costume for tonight.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
I was this is such a good idea because you know, if you're there and you're a delegate, your friends are at home watching on C-SPAN or whatever to try and see you, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to dress as Waldo.
Yeah.
I was on a group chat with my family.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just talked to this guy who's dressed as Waldo, and my wife Emily, 5 minutes later, screams to the group text, I saw him.
You answered the question of where he was. I think that's so exciting.
People's fashion choices. It's so interesting when there's different people. People chose business, like people wearing suits. People chose comfort. Like we were wearing sneakers, and then there are people there to be looked at, wearing like heels, wearing like tights, tight stuff.
How was that? That was an amazing person we saw just when we were walking in. She had that perfect Kellyanne Conway costume.
We did see our first celebrity sighting was Kellyanne Conway.
That was her. Oh, that okay. That explains how good the costume was.
It was quite
And she was being escorted. I don't know. She was walking out with a coterie of people.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me later, was she being escorted out?
No.
I don't know.
I think it was her producers. I
Yeah.
think she was there for something.
Yeah, she was chatting amiably with the person next to her, so
Yeah.
she wasn't complaining.
I
It is true that
approve
all
of
the- I thought this
treating
was kind of cool that
political
the big networks
conventions
all have
like every other convention.
Yeah. Yeah, like gaming cons.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea too. I like the fact that it's like that person in the the perfect Kellyanne Conway outfit cosplay, and it's like, no, Peter, that was Kellyanne Conway. It's
Yeah.
like, oh. Picturing Ralph Nader cosplaying as Bernie Sanders.
Oh Lord. Although, if we're going down that vein, that does make it much easier for whoever's running for an office to appear in a NASCAR jumpsuit with all their sponsors.
That is true.
See, and we can do it, and they won't feel they don't feel like they're standing out, and they can feel like they're joining in the general cosplay concept while actually being truthful, or more truthful.
I mean, that assumes that they want to be truthful at all.
They want to appear
That's,
truthful so they can get votes.
I guess. I mean, sure. Yes. Okay. Yes, they do. This is the Democratic Party. They care about appearing honest.
Apologies to anybody listening that doesn't realize it. I am on my first cup of tea. Good luck, y'all.
Good luck, y'all. I love that.
I am only a third of the way through my first cup of tea.
Peanut Gallery just texted me. Go to the con dressed as a smash up of Abraham Reagan.
Oh.
Well, 7 years ago, I forgot. Personally, I will never get tired of doing jokes about Ronald Reagan forgetting things.
No.
My mom was when I first told the Reagan forgetting joke back in the late 80s, like I hadn't heard that he'd been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So I did the joke in front of my mom thinking, oh, I'm making a good political witticism, because he just kept claiming to not know or to have forgotten about the Iran-Contra affair.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it, and she goes, ooh, too soon, Trev. Too soon. It's like, what? He's only not president anymore. He's not. She goes, no, he's got Alzheimer's. It's like, oh. But the more I look back on Reagan, and the more he sort of supercharged the Republican awfulness, the more I don't feel like it was too soon. Like, I should have felt comfortable going after him this entire time, because he was a bad person and he did bad things to people like me and other people. He was not an okay human being, and criticizing him for using that Alzheimer's diagnosis to get out of being held accountable for being bad, I should have done that with my full chest. But, at like 11 or 12 years old, it's hard to know that that's how to stand up for your values.
Yeah.
Also, at like 11 or 12 years old, and your mom tells you something's in bad taste, you kind of go with it. You're like, okay, she has a better idea than I do.
I mean, I get that. My general take is, if you leave out the diagnosis and everything else, he was saying that he forgot things beforehand. which I find terrible, all on its own, because he's a trained actor. He's supposed to be able to remember his lines.
Yeah. But he was old. He was old by that. Well,
Have we noticed?
he was younger than Trump.
Dick Van Dyke is 98 and can remember his lines.
Okay. Okay. That wins. You can pull Dick Van Dyke out on me and you win. Your Dick Van Dyke is bigger than mine.
I'm sorry, that was a big move.
I thought it was kind of a Van Dyke move.
Look, as long as I can fly up into the sunset with my car, I'm happy.
I bet your British accent is better than his.
Huh?
I bet your British accent is better than his.
Probably not.
Oh, man. So, the new Mary Poppins. Seeing him at the end of that made me so happy.
Oh.
I honestly have nothing bad to say about the new Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
It wasn't the original, but that's okay. It didn't have to be.
Right.
It was its own magical experience, and I truly enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I will never be able to watch either of them again. They were something that I shared with a very special person who passed away.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I will have an emotional breakdown trying to watch either of them. Like, and it will continue to happen for the rest of my life. It's not like, where if I do it enough times, I'll get over it and be okay. Nah.
No.
Nah, this one is not gonna be. I will always miss her. All right, so moving along to something funny. Hopefully, back to the dispatches from the DNC.
Yes.
Yes, are normally luxury boxes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where people pay big money to sit and watch concerts or sporting events, and they all have their their logos out. And so, like, Fox News is twice as big as everybody else.
NPR has a standing desk in the corner.
Yes, NPR has what they call an Apple box. It's just a small wooden box that you can sit on. And they were swapping back and forth. No, NPR is up in the radio area. Apparently, another thing the press is complaining about, in addition to the lines, are the poor facilities. And they're saying the RNC did this better.
Let me say that because we should wrap up and get back in there.
Right.
The facilities, I think Emma found the best part of the Democratic National Convention. You want to talk about the pub that you found?
Oh my God!
So it's in the United Center where the Bulls play basketball, and so there are all these little areas and concession stands.
Excuse me, hi. Is this a bar only for mayors? Yes. It's called the Mayor's Pub. I love mayors. It's only for mayors. There's a thing called the Democratic Mayors Association.
There is a bouncer.
There's a bouncer. There's
Who
two
chat
bouncers.
to see if you're a mayor?
If you were a mayor, yeah.
Do you have to have like a sash and top hat like on a Paw Patrol?
We couldn't get in, none of us being mayors.
Yeah.
This is the most exclusive club in America.
Chains of
It's
office,
not just
maybe?
who you know in there. It's you have to be elected by general election to get into this pub.
I love the idea that tonight, after his speech, former President Barack Obama will need a beer. We'll head up to the mayor's pub, And there was a sorry, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Have you ever been or will be a mayor?
I was a community organizer. I'm sorry. This is the
Mayor
I was
of
president.
America.
Sorry, you overshot it.
Yeah.
You did it
God.
exactly right.
I
The mayor's
know
pub is pretty
the
cool.
sash
I
and
wanna
top
get in
hat also
so
applies
bad.
to Nightmare
The
Before
mayor's can
Christmas.
bring a +1, right?
True.
It's for mayors and their guests. So my one goal for this convention is find a mayor, become their friend, and get into the mayor's pub. They'll be there all week.
Democratic and
Let's
Republican
make
mayor
that
by
our
which
goal.
has
So
a
we're
monocle.
going to head back into the convention. We have a couple more days of this. Another question I want to answer: how do you prove you're a mayor?
You get a special ID. That's like a golden ID.
Yeah, a badge. Do mayors get a badge?
You have like the key to the city that you hold on to before you present it to people.
That's collateral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, these are questions we're going to answer. We're so excited to spend a little more time at the DNC, meeting these dignitaries and weirdos that make our country great. I'm going to call that a sign off.
I would just go far as to say is they make our country.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all. Thanks for sitting through this. Peter, Emma, Godspeed.
USA. USA.
So the ID for the Mayor's Club is the giant novelty city.
That's what we're guessing.
What was that?
So their ID for the Mayor's Club is a giant novelty key to the city.
Yes.
Do they have to check that on the way in?
Could you
I'm
imagine
picturing
if
a mayor
this
trying to
was
go through the door, holding the key sideways or up and like just running into the doorway now.
I'm picturing, collecting your key on the way out and getting halfway down the block and realizing, oh, this is for Sarasota. I need to return this because I'm supposed to be the mayor of that piece.
I knew.
That's what it's called.
And the key check guy is going, I knew I should have taken a left in Albuquerque.
Could you see if that was a real thing and whoever ended up with your key being like, no, I'm keeping this, and having to phone him, honey, I've lost the key to the city. We have to move to Michigan now.
Yeah, right.
Or Wyoming.
Right. I'm no longer mayor. I'm no longer mayor of Tucumcari. Ha! There is a funny sounding town. No longer mayor of Tucumcari. We now have to move to Sarasota.
Yeah.
Chattanooga?
Check.
Walla Walla?
Walla Walla. Tuscaloosa.
And then you have to wonder, are there people that leave their keys there hoping someone else will take them by accident?
Oh. Wait, does that
there a
mean it's just
population
like a
among-
giant, like, mayor swingers club? You just put your keys in the bowl, and at the end you pick out the keys, and it's like whoever keys you pick out, that's the city you're gonna go sleep with tonight.
I think if it's a pub, they would have to have two separate checks. You'd have the one where you're making sure that you're taking home your correct key, and then they have the fishbowl.
Maybe,
is-
but I don't know, man. Maybe
The
not.
person at the key check is secretly working for the Republican Mayor's Club, and they have a voting for keys thing over the Republican Mayor's Club, where people put in blindfolds and grab the key from the Democratic city.
That's absolutely terribly malicious.
That would explain so much.
Yes, it would. That would explain a lot of the way things end up sometimes. There's just a giant cauldron full of keys, and people are blindfolded and bobbing for them. This is your town now.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe that's where we went with this. All right.
And again,
There's a minute left on this audio file. Do we want to see if they say anything else funny, or do we just want to go to the next one?
We can check and see.
All right.
The candidates for November are set.
I know Donald Trump's type.
Between now and Election Day,
We are not going back.
a campaign season unfolding faster
Kamala Harris is not getting a promotion.
than any in recent history.
Make America great again.
Follow it all with new episodes every weekday on the NPR Politics Podcast.
If you're hearing this, that means you have
Okay.
That would be a no.
All right, on to dispatch number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready for this? No. Are we going to do it anyway? Yes. What?
You said the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Jinx, you both owe me a soda.
I bought you a soda with your Chinese takeout the other night.
Yeah, true.
I'll send a box of Arm & Hammer to your house.
Thank you.
Wrong kind of soda. All right,
Doesn't mean it
Dia.
won't get used. Doesn't mean it won't get
So
used.
tell me if this sounds
True that.
You love
I'm sorry, my
NPR's
brain's still
podcast
baking on that
Plus
one.
Bundle. Plus.npr.org.
What was that?
I said, I'm sorry, my brain's still baking on that one.
Yeah, it was a half-baked idea in the first place.
I think this bit is washed up. Let's get going.
Okay, there's the official music that we downloaded royalty free. We are once again at the DNC in Chicago. This is our second dispatch. How's everybody's DNC step count looking?
Mine was excellent. Just because I got lost.
That'll do it.
You did.
I did, in fact, get lost. I actually ended up, and I should say the United Center is, of course, an arena, meaning that it's sort of oval-shaped.
Yeah.
And it's symmetrical on all axes almost, right? So at one point, I was desperately trying to find the NPR booth. And I realized I couldn't find it.
Pardon me,
And I'm
folks.
like, why can't I find it? Why did they hide it? I was here the night before. And I realized I was literally on the other side of the building from
That's tough.
where it was.
Yeah,
You're
that's
as
tough.
far as possible as you could be.
Exactly, and still be inside the building. I guess technically in 3 dimensions I could have been in the basement. I was at least on the right level.
Speaking of the United Center,
Yes.
there's something that happened yesterday. Imagine that you are in the United Center, which is, it is a NBA arena and an NHL arena. It has a capacity of 23,000 people.
Something like that.
It's full, and everybody is so excited. They have traveled from all across the country, all these territories, to fill this place. The energy is amazing. Everybody just wants to party. There's music playing. The vibe is really good. And then at a certain point, someone comes on the PA and makes an announcement.
We are about to take.
He sounds like he has the cadence of Ira Glass to me. That guy has the cadence of Ira Glass. Yeah. He's got a very similar speaking style. Ira Glass is the host of an NPR show. My mind went blank for a second there. I can't come up with what NPR show he's the host of.
Is it a current show?
Yes.
Yes. And it's not An American Tale.
Mm.
Because that stars Fievel. Right. Okay, Magic Rectangle, what have you to say about Ira Glass? This American Life. Ha! This American Life. Huh. Interesting. Not what I expected him to look like, but not far away from what I think he could look like. So, Peter Siegel looks nothing like what I think Pete Siegel should look like, by the way.
No feathers.
Yeah, no feathers. But no, that's not what I think he should look like. I have this very sort of trim talk show host guy in my head with talk show host hair.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not what Peter Siegel looks like. He is not tall and lanky and thin with, you know, the perfect wave to dark hair. He is shortish, very bald. He does not have that sort of that thin, pointy face that I thought he would have.
See, you're describing what you say is the perfect talk show, or your
not perfect
fairy tale talk show host.
Not fairy tale, just sort of what pops into mind when I say talk show host.
And you said talk show host. I'm like, no, it doesn't sound like talk show host. It sounds like a certain other person. And you start describing this, and except for the hair, it very much fits Bob Saget.
Yes.
He's a talk show, game show host type personage too.
No.
America's Funniest Home Videos.
Okay.
Yep. Bob Saget is very much how I picture Bob Saget with glasses is how I picture Peter Siegel.
Or a really, really, really young Bob Barker.
Yes. Yes. Very young Bob Barker. Instead, he's kind of not. I don't know that I have a way of describing what he looks like. That. See, we're doing this thing, and I could try and pull up a picture of him.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I mean, but from your description, it's a little bit more like a shorter Mr. Clean versus young Bob Barker.
Yeah, kinda. Sagal, Sagal. All right. No. You know what? I just realized who he looks like. And we're about to show ya. He looks like Doctor from DS9. Or not DS9, Voyager.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he does not look at all like his voice.
Was it DS9 or was that Voyager?
That was Voyager.
Voyager, okay.
Although he first made an appearance on DS9, and that's that same character.
Okay, fair point. That right there is the one that makes him look the most like that doctor.
Yeah. That is more hair than I thought he had. In all these pictures, it's more hair than I thought he had. I did not know he had a Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah.
Oh, he's young in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, friends. That's what Peter Sagal looks like.
Yes.
All right, back to it. Let's go back to this page. Here we go. That.
We are about to take the official 2024 National Committee panoramic photograph. At this time,
Which sounds like a great idea.
Right.
Sure.
Then they say no one can move during this photo. There are tens of thousands of people who are vibrating, and they say, we're going to need you to be still for this photo. Then they say the camera is 110 years old. And it's a fourth generation photographer who has taken many a panoramic photo. They turn on his mic so that he can direct the crowd to be still.
Please listen to a boss who is located in the center blue press stand in the center of the hall.
He keeps telling everybody to stop moving. He is talking on a microphone to 20,000 people.
There's some moving in the hall. Please, wherever you are, stay right there. You're going to make other people glare. Please hold it right there. I greatly appreciate that.
And then he begins singling out people who are moving.
There's some movement. Please stay right where you are.
He's begging. He's negotiating. It's so funny.
Do not move.
You
Oh
can
my
hear,
God.
Like, listen to the frustration in his
Right
voice.
there, sir. Please put your hands down. I appreciate that.
Oh, this poor guy.
So after all of that, listen to this.
Here goes the real camera.
He just said, here goes the real camera.
No.
Everything up to this point was not the real camera.
Extremely sensitive camera.
There's this feeling in the room that it's like a class photo, and everyone was wrong in it, and you're gonna have to write a note to the photographer later apologizing.
And your mom will be mad because when she gets her packet of photos she paid for, you're blurred.
Yeah.
How could
Yep.
you have been blurred?
After, I'm going to say 5 minutes of trying to get everyone to be still, we got here.
I congratulate all of you. Thank you for your patience.
And people clearly were very happy, I think, to have this moment over with. Because that is the joy you're hearing.
Did you guys note? So this is one of the things I noted when I was lost and wandering around. So people should know that everybody at the convention has credentials, but not all credentials are the same. Each credential gets you just into a certain level. There's like one credential that only gets you into the perimeter outside the building, and another credential that gets you inside, and another credential that gets into a certain level. And what that means is like everybody was desperate to try to get into some place where they could sit, that they were allowed to sit. And when I was walking around, there were people who were standing in the back and angry about that, people who had given up. A friend of mine who was also up in the rafters, a volunteer at the DNC, actually said that a fight broke out between people vying for a seat in his section just after Bernie Sanders called for community and cooperation.
Wow.
So
That tracks.
Things got dicey up there. towards the
That
end.
tracks.
Yeah,
This message
unfortunately.
comes from NPR sponsor Sadfa. This year, many Americans will make a decision that will greatly impact their lives. Which mattress to choose?
On the plus side, for awesome podcast perks across more than 20.
I know, Donald Trump's
Behind the scenes content, sponsored
What was that?
and more. Learn more.
The fight wouldn't have broken out if he was wearing his mittens.
Yeah, they were too busy talking about the. That poor man in that meme.
He's the mitten zaddy.
Yes.
Learn more and sign up at Plus.
I wanted to take a quick moment to say that yesterday I stumbled upon a realization that may not be the most great realization about myself.
Mm.
In brain rot terms, I'm giving Skibidi, Ohio rizz and phantom tax to the Sigma Alpha set. Now, see, I'm okay with this. I'm a little disturbed that I know what I mean, that other people will know what I mean. But really, I'm like, am I really okay with that my life is really like the phantom tax on the Alpha Sigma set? You can hear somebody in the background typing to look this up real quick.
Not entirely.
Not entirely. So what what I just said was, I have empty freak rizz, or empty freak charisma. I have freak charisma, but it's kind of empty because I don't do anything with it, like other than make videos and stuff. I am not actually a rizzler. Like, I do not swing my rizz around. But I'm a phantom tax on the Sigma Alpha set. So a phantom tax isn't really a real thing either, but it's kind of like this psychological, like, give me your fries thing. Phantom, like, goes around taxing his friend's food and doing stuff like that. And, like, the Alpha and Sigma set are those guys who are, you know, Alpha male, Sigma male, that kind of mindset. And I'm the thorn in their side. And I don't know that I would have put together the concept of myself as such without that language to do it.
That is the fun part of language.
It is, and I think that in and of itself shows the value of this Gen Alpha language. I think it shows the value of every generation's new sets of lingo and everything. But I think this sort of shows that the value of that specific set of lingo, that specific lexicon. It allows me to have the language to describe myself in a very specific way that actually really kind of fits me.
Each generation forms its own slang.
They do.
And it ends up pertaining somehow, in some way, to previous generations in a way they didn't intend. And it's a lot like learning a completely foreign language, like German, and discovering, oh, they have an entire word for this feeling that I've got.
Right.
And I can apply that, and that is so awesome.
Right. Like there's a word for the feeling of laughing at other people's pain. Yeah, I appreciate that part of learning new language. I appreciate learning new languages. But let's keep it on Front Street. Let's keep it real on Front Street, as I say. Keep it real on Front Street. Yeah, that's, learning new language is great. It has the ability to open your mind to new ways of thinking about things, new perspectives. And each generation's slang is, in many ways, an entirely new language. And, in that way, encapsulates the ability to think in a new way.
And eventually, this generation's slang will get worked into whatever collective anything, and
right,
a fair percentage of the population will know it, and it'll be like, okay, cool. And then the next one will come up and be like, what's wrong with you? Why are you using that word? It's this word. All over again.
Or, and this is what I see actually happening. The younger generations are figuring it out quicker and quicker. Like, I think Gen Z is grabbing Gen Alpha's language and grasping it quicker than Gen X grabbed Gen Z's language. And quicker than baby boomers grabbed Gen X's language, or
Well, that's because Gen X was busy grabbing up and dealing with the millennials' language first, because they were between the two.
Millennia, yeah. No, I think it's because the amount of generation gap is dropping.
It could also be
I think compassion across generation gap is going up, and the generations are shortening. So I think it's so that the generation gap is shrinking.
That, and it's easier to... You have to add in the whole information, ease of access of information.
Yes, ease of access of information, how fast information travels, and how used to the speed that information is moving the younger generations are. I was ready for information to be moving at this speed before it was moving at this speed. I was, when I was a teenager, when I was a kid, even, Peanut Gallery says, an encyclopedia moves pretty fast if you throw it hard enough.
Yes, but that's it moves fast, but the ease of access of information is impeded by the concussion suffered after receiving it at speed.
Details.
An encyclopedia a day keeps the proctor away. But you have to have pretty good aim. And a good strong arm.
Not if you're on the 5th floor, you don't.
Oh, here comes the proctor.
You still have to have good aim, but it's less of a horizontal aim and more of a dropping the boiling oil type aim.
Yeah. All right, back to the show. Back to the show before we get... Oh, we took a heck of a detour there for a moment.
This is nothing new.
Nothing new.
At plus.npr.org and never hear this promo again.
The candidates for November are set.
I know Donald Trump's type.
Between now and Election Day,
We are not going back.
a campaign season unfolding faster
Kamala Harris is not getting a promotion.
than any in recent history.
Make America great again.
Follow it all with new episodes every weekday on the NPR Politics Podcast.
Hey, it's Aisha Roscoe from NPR's Up First podcast.
Hey, Dassin.
I'm one of thousands of NPR
Happy
network
Look at Work.
voices coming
Much
to you
love.
from over 200 local newsrooms across the country.
Mwah.
We bring all Americans closer together through free and independent journalism, music, politics, culture, and so much more. The NPR Network. What you hear changes everything. Learn more at npr.org/network.
Thank you, Dassin.
Emma, after the photo, you got a text. Do you want to talk about what happened?
Oh, yes. So yesterday we talked about the mayor's pub, right? Which is a bar and it's only for mayors. And earlier I had just loitered around the mayor's pub waiting to see if I could catch a mayor to bring me into the pub.
Yeah, you and I went down there and we decided we would stand there, and anybody who looked like they might be a mayor, we would go up and ask them if they were a mayor and if they would escort us in.
Define looking like a mayor.
Give me the question. I was looking for top hats and sashes. Not a lot of them there, but there was this one guy wearing a very nice suit and a yellow tie on his phone, and I thought this guy might be Mr. Mayor.
Excuse me? Hi, I work for NPR. Can I ask you a question quickly?
Are you a mayor?
No, I'm not.
What are you doing here?
I'm a chief of staff to a mayor.
Wait, really? Who's your mayor?
Kathy Sheehan from Albany, New York.
Okay.
Do you want to talk to her?
Well, I would love to get into the mayor's pub.
I'll text my mayor right now and see if she'll come.
I love it. Okay,
Thank
see you soon.
See you soon.
First try, I got a big bite.
That is so
and
cool.
so, anyways, later after the roll call, David, the chief of staff, texts me. He's like, me and Mayor Sheehan are headed down to the mayor's pub. Meet us there. And so I book it.
Hi. Mayor Sheehan, so nice to meet you. Am I allowed to come in?
The pub, just for a second, pub is like any bar, but it's all the decoration around the room is mayor themed. There's a neon sign called Mayors Matter, and people are just milling around. It's like pretty busy, and there's one thin velvet rope separating it from the outside hallway.
Oh my God! I just stepped over the rope. Are you gonna get me in trouble?
The boss of the rope, but you can come over the rope.
Well, if this rope was in Albany, I feel like you'd be the boss of the rope.
Oh, I would 100% be the boss of the rope. The rope wouldn't be there.
So true.
There would be no rope.
Well, can you introduce yourself quickly to us?
I'm Kathy Sheehan, and I'm the mayor of Albany, New York.
Do you have best mayor friends?
I have lots of mayor friends. It is a really great group of people. And I will tell you this, it is the most bipartisan group of people that you could meet anywhere.
Yeah.
We say all the time, there are not Republican potholes and Democratic potholes. There are just potholes.
I like that.
Anyone in this pub
Oh,
wearing a
yeah.
top
We
hat
keep
and a
swapping.
sash.
Wearing a what?
A top hat and a sash. Do you guys, where are they?
I don't know where those mayors are, but these mayors are dressed to get things done.
Do you have a key to the city in your pocket?
I do not have a key to the city in my pocket. I'm sorry, I don't.
Peanut Gallery asked, is Mayor McCheese
Right
there?
now that you can introduce me to?
Sure, I can introduce you to another mayor who is doing a lot of work for the campaign. Let me just grab Tashara Jones. She's mayor of St. Louis.
That's what they're doing on the bed behind me.
I'm Mayor
They are
Tashara Jones from
sleeping
St.
so
Louis, Missouri.
adorably.
Such a huge fan of your city. Do you have a key to the city on you?
No, I don't carry them.
Nobody has them on them.
Nice.
That's your top hat and your sash.
I don't know. I don't carry those around, but I do carry my cell phones.
Yeah.
Plural.
Yeah, that's the most
Come on.
I'm India Kincannon, the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Do you have a key to the city on you?
Nice.
I do not. They're sort of heavy. I'm sorry. I have a business.
How big are they?
Oh, well, beyond your imagination.
Yeah, my name's Mayor Brandon Sackbun, Brandon Sakbun. I'm the 28-year-old mayor of Terre Haute, Indiana.
Oh my gosh. Youngest mayor of
Yeah.
youngest mayor of your town?
Youngest mayor in Terre Haute history, yeah.
Do you have a key to the city on you right now?
Do I have a key to the city on me? With all due respect, I'm a millennial. I don't use a lot of keys or cash.
What mayor do you think I should talk to next?
Ooh. Have you chatted with Miss Mayor Angie Nelson from Michigan City, Indiana?
Hello, I'm Emma. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, every other
Use
mayor I've asked
keys
this
or
has said no,
cash.
but do you have a key to the city on you?
Welcome.
No.
No one carries the keys to
You
their
know
cities?
what? I was scared to bring my keys. Period. So I'm only about an hour away from Chicago.
Yeah.
So I left my keys at home so I wouldn't lose them.
Fair enough.
That's
and
a good answer.
This man over here is the first mayor I've seen, hopefully wearing a sash.
That's my guy from Sheboygan.
Yeah, my name's Ryan Sorensen. I'm the mayor of Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
And you guys are pals.
Yes.
course.
You were the first mayor that I assumed every mayor wears a top hat and a sash.
Yeah.
You were the first mayor who's wearing a sash.
Well, of course, we got to look the part. Us mayors got to represent. They have been other mayors with sashes, but
Really?
not right here, right now.
Okay.
But we're,
I'm looking for him.
Yeah.
Do you wear the sash every day?
Not every day, no. Just for parades, festivals, and keg tappings.
What?
Keg tappings. You know when you tap a keg to celebrate an event?
Do you do an official mayoral
Yes.
stand?
Not officially, no.
Off the record?
Off the record, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the keg stands are unofficial. Oh my god.
But we were the sash to them.
Yeah, apparently much of the action at this sort of thing happens at parties, so I felt I had to go to a party. I'm not a party guy, but I got an invitation to the Axios party because I have friends who I know, well, they're friends of the Chicago
I think if there
Axios.
was ever a party for not a party guy, it's the Axios.
Axios party, yeah. But it had the whole party experience. It was an event space. They had...
I am so curious as to what the Axios party would be like. But I am going to quickly do another shout out to Hidden Leaf, who's providing today's pre-rolls.
Yes.
Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, 105 West Main Street, above the bricks, Suite 200, between 10,000 Villages and Hamilton's, where the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. And they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal research, which might be biased. Might be. All right. That shout out is done. We would just also like to say thank you to them for being the community building resource that they are trying to be and succeeding at. All right, back to the show.
Event space. They had a range of speakers. They had Kathy Hochul, plus Gina Raimondo and Bill Daley, who was the brother of our mayor. So that's exciting. And there were a small fraction of people paying attention to what they were saying. And 70% of the people were going after the free food buffet like lions
As they
at a
should.
carcass of a wildebeest.
Which one were you?
The line for the food was so long, and I had just gotten in. I didn't want to immediately go into it, so I decided to wait until the line died down, and I waited too long, and they just broke down the whole buffet, and it vanished. But so I felt a little bit at sea at this party. I'm not a party goer. I'm certainly not a political party goer. But I happened to run into Molly Jongfast at the convention. Now, Molly is an interesting person. She's a political socialite. Her main thing is she has gathered all these political people who she has invited to her house for parties. So I said to her, as a political socialite, what is the key to a successful political party?
It's pretending you remember everybody.
Really?
This is a DC versus New York thing. In New York, you go to school with someone, you know them your whole life, and they pretend they don't know you because they don't want to deal with you or whatever. In DC, you may or may not have met the person 100 times. You pretend you know them because people hate being forgotten, and you just try to sort of on the fly.
So how do you do that? Do you go up to somebody and you say, oh my God, it's so good to see you?
The most important thing is they look at you, you look at them, there's some flicker of recognition, and then you say, so great to see you versus so great to meet you. And this is the difference between DC and New York. As far as I can tell, that's it.
Really?
That is so true. I grew up in DC, around DC. I just lived in New York.
That is so
true.
Charlottesville.
Especially like something I noticed in DC. Someone.
That is so Charlottesville.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So, yeah, I mean, I have to assume whenever I get any flicker of recognition in Charlottesville, I have to assume I know this person.
Mm-hmm.
I have to assume that this person has met me and more than likely thinks I'm their best friend. I get a lot of people who, after a few minutes, are telling me every detail of their life. And I am looking at them going, I'm stoned. Why are you talking to me like this? But, because I'm good at listening and because I'm very, very polite. And because people need someone to listen to them, I do. And then because I'm stoned, I immediately forget everything. And then when I run into them at karaoke and they go, oh, this is my best friend. And I go, hi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, she's kind of snubbed me for the last couple of weeks. She's been frosty to me for the last couple of weeks at karaoke.
Oh.
She still every time says, "Oh, it's my best friend."
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's because you haven't called her best friend back.
Well, she's not.
I know.
I mean, I don't remember her name. I feel terrible about this.
Look, so you need to bring you a songbook and get her to sign it so that you can, sign my songbook. I'm collecting autographs of people that I sing with.
She doesn't sing.
Yeah, but she's your best friend. You're her best friend. She should sign it anyway.
No. I'm gonna get her name from somebody else in the group. Somebody else who I can sort of be like, so, you know how I'm terrible about remembering names? You know how I'm great at talking to people?
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Yeah, it's
I'm just picturing one night you showing up to karaoke and everybody there has "Hi, my name is" stickers.
Yeah, because when I post this on YouTube and then send it out to the people on the list, they're gonna go, oh, I got this. Now they're all gonna take your suggestion.
Hopefully they do the nice thing and not the Kathy. Yeah, not what I would do.
There are so many of them. I have no idea what they're gonna choose to do. They each have a different. There are a lot of them, so this could be a thing. I don't. But also, you know, they may not get to it for a couple of weeks. So.
That just gives them time to get together and be like, so, we haven't done anything in 2 weeks. He's not expecting it this week. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
I mean, it's either the little name tag or, you know, someone springs for doing the pipe cleaner with the name sign and the arrow pointing down like you see in video games.
Bing!
Yes.
Thank goodness not that many people watch this.
Live or on YouTube?
Yes.
Undoubtedly, if someone does watch this and shows up with a name tag, there's going to be at least one person that has the name tag. Oh, my name is Nico Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Ah, yes.
Like I said, hopefully, if they do it, they'll do it the nice way and not the cat, not the Kathy way.
Right? You, I don't know why, but you just like, you choose violence every time.
Not every time, just more frequently
just
than not.
When with your friends, really.
Yes.
You like wake up and choose violence to say, hi, I love you.
Yes, this is true. This is very true.
And what I don't get. See, you're not the only person in my life who does this. And I don't understand why I seem to find a high percentage of people who say I love you with a punch and a headbutt.
You have Gandalf.
Well, and Death Kitty did it too. But there are also other humans in my life who say that, who are, and I appreciate that they love me and are saying that. And I don't even mind that their love language is violence, really. Like, I'm kind of used to it at this point. And I guess maybe part of why they seem to be drawn to me is because I'm okay with it.
What do Gandalf and Death Kitty have in common? They are both, or were both,
cats. Oh, you think that it's okay, you think it's a feline thing and that I attract other feline humans to me.
It's definitely it's a very much a cat thing to I love you by hugging you with my claw. And I'm going to groom you and then out of nowhere decide to nibble on your ear. That is a cat thing.
Well, That explains a lot. That really, really explains a lot.
Now, not everybody in your acquaintance that does that may not necessarily associate or realize they have that particular feline quality, but that is a very, very feline quality. I mean, I've been around some dogs and some other critters that have that same thing, but it's far less
It's
pronounced.
more feline. Okay. All right, Khatt. No, I get it.
Which, I mean, it's not like I don't come with a visual warning. You can see my icon pretty clearly there.
I'm gonna start using a no bad kitty bottle on you.
I have had to do that with the kids at school occasionally.
I don't want to grab the no bad kitty bottle because he's not doing anything wrong, so I don't want to scare him now while he's not doing anything wrong.
You're just going to have to add an emote for that. You need a new emoji. You're going to have to just do that for the Twitch channel.
The no bad kitty bottle?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
You can use it on lockpick too.
Ah. Okay.
Ooh, if it's an actual emote, you can transport it to lockpick stream, and I can use it on him there.
That would be funny. That would be funny. I think we can do something like that.
I would tell that I actually like lockpick. I'm willing to commit violence on him too in his own stream. This is why I stay out of Crystal's stream talking wise. I just lurk because she probably already has the kitty bottle, and I don't want to get squirted. I behave because I know she can dump me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And we'll be back from ads in... Hello, friends. Welcome back from ads. We are going to quickly go back to this episode, finish it out before we get too further rambunctious and need to whip out the no bad kitty bottles.
Will be like, I like your outfit, but in New York they'll say, where did you get your outfit?
I feel like this just tells me the only party I want to go to is a mayor party.
Yeah,
That's
the
where
mayor
people
party
are
was the party
good
to be
and
at.
kind.
Were there any mayors at the Axios party?
There were just a lot
Have you
of
not had your fill of mayors at this point?
Well, at this point, though, I'm beginning to believe that if there had been mayors, it would have been a better party.
You know, the thing about mayors is that they're not focused on clout, right? You would think maybe because they're...
We're gonna fade down Emma here because I have a feeling that this isn't gonna stop. So, and we need to get out of here and get back to the DNC.
Yes.
Peter, thank you so much for exploring the DNC with Emma and me.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get out there and see if we can find more stories of, what did we say yesterday? The weirdos and dignitaries that make our country great.
Yes, that make our country what it is. And some
That
mayors,
make our
apparently,
country.
More mayors.
at the Democratic Mayoral Convention.
DMC. Run DMC.
Yeah, run, Emma, to the DMC.
This message comes from Mattress Firm.
We're
Hello
good.
and
We don't need to hear.
Our third dispatch from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Peter, Emma, how you doing?
I'm feeling absolutely energized because I left early and got some sleep last night.
Yes.
Mainly, that was the secret.
Yeah. It's not a restful time for DNC.
I'm so tired.
Me too. And I heard like Terry McAuliffe, the old DNC chair and the
Yeah.
governor of Virginia, he's out like every morning till 3 a.m. And I'm like, how can he do that?
Brag.
He's older than I am, and I cannot make it.
We're at the DNC, and there are so many people going on TV. There are these places where, that are set up for the major TV studios. There are people who are doing things for their own channels. And Emma, you, as I understand, infiltrated yesterday the area where people are getting their makeup.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's Media Row and NPR.
I do have to address this one, Peanut Gallery. It does feel like we are...
Okay.
That was different. Hello?
What? Can you hear me?
Screen cut off?
What?
Can you hear me, Trevor?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you
'Cause
guys...
I cannot hear you.
Huh.
I sees you.
It is on your end. Whatever it is.
Interesting.
No? Oh,
I
no,
just,
it is
just
not.
now unmuted the stream.
It's not on your end. It appears to be on my end. Because I am not... Check. Okay, that's happening. I'm going in there. That's correct. That... And you guys can hear me on...
On the stream, but not through Discord.
Yeah, no, I see that.
I can't hear the stream. I can't hear the...
Okay, hold on. I know what to check.
Discord thing.
Check. Check. Do you hear me now?
All right, try one more time.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Now I can hear you.
I do not know what happened, but somewhere in the Discord, it decided to do something funky. All right, well. So. It hit 1 hour and Discord turned off.
1 p.m.
Oh, 1 p.m.
That's right. Right as it hit 1 p.m., it's like...
Ha! Yeah.
We don't get midnight. We get 1 p.m.
So, Peanut Gallery texted me, Inception, being on a show, trying to get back off a tangent to watch a show that's trying to leave a tangent to get back on task.
Yeah.
This is the most meta I think we have been so far. And we are on a tangent about being on tangents. On a show about a tangent show. But I digress. See, Peanut Gallery, this is why I love you. I don't know if she loves you for this reason, but this is why I love you. All right. Back to the tangent show.
NPR, you know the classical expression, "got a face for radio." So it's
No,
kind of
no
weird.
one's ever said that to me, Emma. I don't know why
Because
you
you're
need
so
to bring
beautiful.
it up.
No, because it's like all these radio hosts are getting their makeup done. Because I think NPR is like filming a lot of the interviews now, or broadcasting it too. But yeah, it's just like a booth in the middle of the floor where these people are getting their makeup done.
Media row, just as a term, there's something very intimidating. Like,
Yeah. What's your last meal on Media Row?
Yeah, that guy's been on Media Row for decades now, waiting for his appeals.
Emma, you talked to one of the makeup artists.
Mm-hmm. Hannah Marie. She's a makeup artist contracted through NPR, so we used her for the RNC too.
So you work with a lot of NPR hosts, right?
Yes.
So what do NPR hosts usually ask for?
They ask for more natural looking makeup, and I can kind of tell, like, I got their pictures sent to me, so I could kind of tell the vibe already that they weren't going to want a lot of makeup, just them, but a little bit enhanced.
I caught up with Ozma Khalid, and Ozma was getting ready for, I guess it was some kind of live broadcast, but it's fun because Ozma likes getting her makeup done, so I just kind of like asked them questions while she was getting her stuff done.
Have you ever been told you have a face for radio?
A face for radio? I have not been told that, and I want to take that, I guess, as a good sign. I don't know.
Yes.
I think it's a good sign.
Yes.
Do you normally wear makeup often?
I am wearing zero makeup right now.
Natural queen.
I tend to wear makeup if I have to go to the White House because they televise those briefings, you know.
What's your White House makeup routine?
My White House makeup routine. Oh, gosh, guys, now you're all gonna look. So I wear like a heavier foundation if I know that the briefings are going to be televised sometimes, because I do think, you know, I think you want to appear in a positive light.
So when
That's
you're recording
interesting.
From home, like what's your makeup
I
routine?
could
That's
see.
for like morning edition up first. Okay, my morning edition up first routine is set 5 alarms at 4:30 and 4:45 to ensure I wake up. Roll out of bed, and the sad reality is, look, I love my family, but my husband is like one of those people who cannot fall back to bed if he hears alarms, so I sleep on the couch usually if I'm doing morning edition, so that I don't wake up the whole family, and roll off the sofa, maybe put a robe on top of my pajamas.
Okay,
grab
I'm
some
sorry.
water
I know
and
we're
some
supposed to be talking
coffee,
about the DNC.
and-
She said she sleeps on the couch.
Yeah.
When she does morning edition, so she doesn't wake her family.
That it's just crazy, and she says she doesn't do any makeup. She just throws her glasses on, and then she just does it.
I feel like if our bosses at NPR are listening, we have to. Can you just send some melatonin over to the household?
Wait, it looks like we're making good progress.
Yes, we are almost finished. We have the brows to do, the mascara, and then my favorite part, the lips.
So you mentioned you mentioned, Emma, that this person Hannah, she was NPR hired her to do makeup at the DNC, and that she was also the person at the RNC.
Yeah.
Hannah, what do you think? Do you think the makeup was different at the RNC and the DNC?
Yeah, there was a lot more makeup being worn at the RNC for sure, and even like I saw like pageant girls walking around. Yeah, they were all dolled up.
What do you think the vibe is here at the DNC?
It's a lot more, maybe a little more basic.
Peter, can I ask you a sensitive
Hey
question?
now.
Okay.
When have you ever held back? Go for it.
You've done. You're a radio guy.
Yes.
For the most part, but you
Oh,
have done
paid.
TV. I've seen you on CNN.
Mm-hmm.
You look great.
Thank you.
You're funny.
Again, sensitive question.
You're funny, Peanut Gallery.
I'm genuinely curious. Do they put makeup on top of your head?
Yes. like half a pound of powder, just all the way back, because they have to powder the top of my head. Otherwise, the glare will actually burn out the camera lens.
Oh,
and so,
God.
yes,
They make your head matte.
Yes,
a matte
they
finish.
pretty much do. And I end up I do occasional TV appearances, and I end each one in the bathroom scrubbing my entire head and ruining multiple towels with all the powder that has to come off. Yes.
Oh, God.
He's too shiny.
Shiny.
I have found one thing about the DNC, but I will just say I am a fan of track and field, international track and field. That is the sport that I follow, and there is something so fun about going to, like, I went to the World Championships a few years ago, and versus being like an NBA fan or an NFL fan, there's something so fun about being a track fan because you are literally next to. You're just walking around, and the people who are the best in the world, the people who are famous in this context, are like in front of you in line at the concession stand.
Is this because no one else goes to track meets?
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
It's because nobody
They
cares.
exist in the context, Peter. Yeah.
The elbow rubbing equivalent, it would just be like if you were an NBA fan, and then when you were on your way home, LeBron James was standing there and was like, "Do you want to share a cab?" Like, that's the kind of thing that happens at track meets, and I love that feeling. It feels very familial. And I've had the same feeling at the DNC. Like, if you are a fan of politics and government, everywhere we walk, we're just walking, we're in security behind David Axelrod. And then 2 seconds later, Emma and I walk by Al Sharpton, and we're like tugging each other's sleeves. Al Sharpton. And then, like,
Chris Cuomo walks by.
I thought it was John Cena at first, but
Which
you're
doesn't
right.
make any sense.
We'll get to that in a second. Peanut Gallery says, I just realized why Trump can't stay on topic, and it has to do with his skin color. Tangerine. Oh my goodness, Peanut Gallery. I love you. You're...
That one is pretty awesome. Good one, dear.
Congratulations, you win the episode. I don't think somebody can top Tangerine this episode.
That definitely makes up for the Christmas ornament trap you fell into earlier.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to see what he just sent me.
Unlike me, he's had plenty of caffeine this morning.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Haven't?
That was just a
thing. That was the last Mountain Dew that
What was that?
All right, yes, it might have been the last Mountain Dew in the house, but you've still had a liter of it versus my 8-ounce cup. You've had more caffeine than I have.
Yeah, but enough is subjective.
It's still, in a finite amount, more caffeine than I have had this morning.
You guys have no idea how much I'm enjoying this argument all of a sudden.
Neither one of us has had enough. You just had more.
Obviously, because this is the argument going on. If you'd both had enough, this wouldn't be happening, now would it? Oh, I love you guys.
Love you too, Trevor.
Somehow I feel like I'm gonna get a very painful hug at pool tomorrow.
No, not that painful.
No, she's just giving me a running start for the headbutt.
I might actually have a chance with that if he's wearing heels. Are you okay?
Just had a distinct impression of what that might be like. Ow. So, off this tangent and back to the tangent show.
Yeah.
I happen to find myself standing next to Chris Cuomo on the convention floor, and I thought of that, and he doesn't look anything like John Cena.
I guess they both.
Okay, there is a part of me that could see John Cena being at the DNC.
Mm-hmm.
But I really never thought I'd hear that sentence.
Would that be a counterbalance to Hulk Hogan being at the RNC?
I think so.
Work out.
They do.
There was one point on the NPR Slack, we got a message. Michael Cohen is by the hot dog stand.
Yeah.
There's
Which
an
is
NPR
not something.
Slack.
I mean, it's like a Mad Libs. It's like
It is like a Mad Libs.
Insert minor political celebrity locale.
Well, something I've loved this week is that I've been pushed aside by so many powerful female politician security groups. Like, on the way here, I ran into AOC, and I was holding a bunch of matcha lattes, and her security people was like, get out of the way, get out of the way. And it was only me on the sidewalk. They were talking to me, and I was like, I'm sorry. And then I, like, run, and then AOC's behind me, and I'm like, what? And then yesterday, I was making my way through press row, and then someone's like, ma'am, I gotta ask you to wait here. And I'm like, what the heck? And then Gretchen Whitmer's right there. And then it's a very narrow
Well, I can
hallway,
understand
but then she's,
why
like,
Gretchen
gaggling or whatever. And I'm just
Whitmer
like,
would be.
I gotta get through. I'm so sorry, Gretch. You know? It's crazy.
I got in a situation I've never been in before, and I
Hey,
think I'll never
Chris.
be in again.
Chris in the,
where I was at a
386?
urinal, and
Yep.
I had the thought, my peripheral vision, am I peeing next to Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy right now?
Were you?
Well, I didn't want to turn my head, but
Well, obviously.
I might have been.
Wow.
That's what we really wanted to end the show on, yes.
Peter, you got to talk to
Wow.
one of those
Yes,
celebrities.
yes. I realized later on, at a certain point of our experience, wait a minute, we work for NPR. We can actually talk to these people, and I knew I'd have one chance. So I asked to speak to Jasmine Crockett. She's
Yeah.
the congresswoman from Texas, and she went viral with this moment she had with Marjorie Taylor Greene. What happened was at a hearing, Representative Greene had insulted her appearance. And due to circumstances that aren't worth getting into, she had a chance to respond. And she called Representative Greene, she referred to her as a bleach blonde, bad-built butch body.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the one. It went
Wow.
a hugely viral moment. So much so that when I met Representative Crockett yesterday...
Oh, yes. Hello.
Hi.
Nice Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, you okay?
I'm-
These chairs are awful.
It actually sabotaged me.
She was wearing a T-shirt with that phrase on it.
Oh, my God, you have a T-shirt.
I do.
And I went to the trouble of making sure that I got the language right. So
Well, you'll be able to read off my shirt if you have a problem.
Well, let me just, such a bold move to wear a piece of your own merch around.
It is pretty cool, and she said that she and her staff refer to that moment, that incident, as B6. B6, is that what we call it?
B6.
And B6 stands for the 6 Bs
Yes.
in the phrase, the
Yes.
famous phrase.
Uh,
And when you talk about B6, you're talking about the phenomenon, like, oh, before B6, they wouldn't have gotten me a reservation at this
B6.
restaurant. Is that what you mean?
B6.
We can use it as that. Yeah.
Okay.
We're recording this before Emma. You're gonna go in and watch the final night.
Yeah, so the rest of us have to do this radio show.
This will probably appear in your ears after Kamala
Starstruck
Harris's
urinal
acceptance
faux pas.
speech, which
Yeah.
I am missing.
That's a good
because
one.
our executive producer who directs Wait Wait Don't Tell Me, which Peter hosts, has come down with COVID, and so I was supposed to go watch a historic moment tonight. Instead, I'm going to be telling Peter we need that limerick again.
Yeah.
And so I did actually. I emailed Mike's supervisor at NPR this morning. I'm just going to bring this up. Colin, yeah.
Can I also just say, you were disappointed when you found out you had to miss Kamala Harris's speech. You were more devastated when you realized you might be missing Beyonce.
Yeah, there's been a rumor that there will be a surprise Beyonce. By the time you out there are hearing this, you'll know whether or not it happened. But I wanted to email Colin. I said, I just need to know if Beyonce shows up tonight and I miss it because I'm directing Wait Wait, do I have your permission as my supervisor, his supervisor, to murder Mike Danforth? And Colin, to his credit, wrote back, murdering Mike gets you a bonus whenever you choose to do it. A grateful nation will thank you for your service. So that's the sort of support producers at NPR get.
My boss is my enemy, but my boss's boss is my friend.
So this may have been it for our DNC dispatches, and it's been such a great journey watching this with both of you.
It's been pretty fabulous.
Peter Sagal, Emma Choi.
It's been, I feel like we have bonded and we now share memories together that we can never separate from each other.
Yeah, I know. We'll all have been. Let's meet.
Trauma
here
bond.
4 years from this day.
Yeah.
Which would also probably be.
And if
the
we're not
DNC.
married by then.
I know.
The candidates for November are
Okay.
set.
I know Donald Trump's type.
Between now and election.
I think they had a little too much drink at the Mayor's Club.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
And we now know that one mayor from Minnesota doesn't have to worry about the potential losing her seat through losing her key because she leaves him at home.
Right. She leaves him at home.
And there's actually someone running around with a sash. But only for keg stands.
Right. At least one person has a sash.
Yes, yes.
And if you look close enough, you might be able to find Waldo.
Yes. I really, really hope that the night that they did the big panoramic picture, that he was in costume as the coconut tree.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Well, all right, friends. We've come to the end, I feel, of this Saturday stream. Of today's episode of Saturday Evenings Mostly Posted Mostly Presents. Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly Presents. Thank you for joining us, Khatt, and thank you for joining us, Peanut Gallery. We appreciate it. Your jokes are always welcome. And don't forget to stick around for the raid, friends. Thank you to Chris into 386, Dawson, Just Me Crystal for coming in, chatting and hanging out. And now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA double deuces. We're out, y'all.
for us but darkness, fear, and ruin. And also there was an eclipse. Thank you.